Brought to you by the all-new 2016 Honda HR-V.
When I first moved to LA, graffiti was really striking. Seeing it on the streets, it always seemed like something dangerous or forbidden, but I would try to emulate it on paper. For me personally, I grew up reading comics, so that must have stuck in my head. My style of drawing characters comes from that interest in comic books and wanting to draw characters that I would read or see on, in cartoons. I think there's a natural relationship between comic book characters and graffiti characters. Like the way sound effects would be depicted in comic books, like smash or pow, like with big, fat, bold dimensions, really translated well to graffiti. Wow, this is a cool place. I can see all kinds of work going on in here. Like a lot of art can happen. The type of work that I'm gonna be painting for this project is a style people are familiar with seeing me do outside. So having it like in a gallery setting indoors is also gonna be interesting. When I was starting to paint graffiti, I enjoyed going to abandoned buildings or abandoned areas because you kind of feel like a lot of stuff has gone on there and been forgotten. I wish I could fill this whole space with work. When I got brought onto this project, I was like, oh, how am I gonna approach dealing with a team of characters, in this case, Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman? That's one of the challenges I see, figuring out how I can make these characters look like my style, but also like they're meant to look. I like to start by drawing my frame. With this particular Gods and Monsters Superman, doesn't have the big Superman-esque chest. So to read as a Superman, I gotta figure out I gotta give him his belt. So, make sure the logo shows so people know it's Superman. I think I grew up in an era where female characters were sort of secondary. So I think I'm gonna start with Wonder Woman in the foreground. I did a few years working in animation. The process that I got used to is penciling something, scanning it, being able to digitally color stuff and move elements around. I finished inking the characters and I just scanned them. So now I'm going to start compositing it digitally. Since this is gonna be painted, I need to find the closest colors to my final composite. It's a shopping list and it's also almost like a map. I've kind of developed my process using all kinds of techniques, like analog and digital stuff. So it's just it's pretty fluid, a fluid process for me to jump back and forth. I'm gonna do cell shading, so it'll be a solid color. It's also a big habit I got from graffiti, filling in first and then outlining. The lines that are unpainted, that's gonna be my black outline, so it is sort of reversed, kind of like painting a cell. Having grown up watching cartoons, reading comic books, being into superheroes, my inner kid is just wow, this is awesome.